Alright, let's get the comments on here first thing. And as usual, welcome back to FastGadgets. So, thought I would try something new and do the go live functionality in the YouTube app, but you are going to have to put up with me clearing my throat 100 times a minute and my ahs and ums and my 30-second gaps that usually end up getting put in. And I attribute that to the heart medicine that I'm on. Kind of makes me forget sometimes. But I'm out here on the deck enjoying the day. Let's see, there's Pixie, my little doggy, hanging out in the sun, and back there, hey Meadow, what you doing, buddy? Meadowlark. And there's Meadow. So, semi-serious topic, not really too awfully serious, but I decided that I needed to sell some computers and make a little bit of money. And, to be honest, I really hate to do that. Um, I like all the systems that I have. If you recall from my videos recently, I have a MacBook Pro 2009. And one of my favorite systems that I bought last year is the MacBook Pro 2015. And then I have a Yoga Lenovo 910, which I really like, and I've made that a dual boot functionality with both Windows and Linux. So unfortunately though, the medical bills stacked up. Again, if you've been watching my videos, I broke my leg and I managed to get a few blood clots. And I'm happy to say though, I have actually upgraded to a cane, so I'm pretty excited about that. The thing about it is, the walker helps me a lot more, but I did go see my surgeon, the doctor, and he said, you know what, you just gotta take that boot off now. It's healed sufficiently, and you need to walk. You need to walk a lot and do as much as you are able to do each day with your leg. And he also gave me some exercises to do, so I'm doing those. Anyway, boring stuff aside, let's get right into it. So I needed to raise a little bit of money to pay some bills, and I thought, what should I do? Now, on the one hand, I really like the MacBook systems. I've got the MacBook Pro 2015. I really like it. I purchased that one even knowing the new MacBooks were coming out because I did like the port assignments that were in the 2015 model. And I bought a 2009 a little bit later to experiment with, and I upgraded it with a new SSD and put in 8 gigabytes of RAM. And I really liked both of them. One of the things I liked about the 2009 was it still had the DVD player in it, and I have tons of DVD movies. And when I'm laying around, because of my leg and the clots and all that, I had something that I could use to watch those DVDs I had. So it was nice to have. I didn't have to get out of bed and put the DVD players in the DVD player. I had it right there on my lap. So that was really cool. On the other hand, I really do enjoy my Lenovo Yoga 910. So I've got these two different systems, and I wasn't sure what I should do. The 910, what do I like about it? Super thin, super light, and I absolutely love the fact that that system, the screen on it, if you have not seen one, you got to go in and look at it. It is the most gorgeous 4K display I've ever seen. It's absolutely stunning. And I know that Dell and other manufacturers have, equivalents. I did see a Dell with a 4K, and I really like that one too. So, I usually buy Lenovo's, but I'm not opposed to buying a different laptop, different manufacturer, Dell or whatever. So what did I decide? Well, looking at the big picture, I decided to sell the MacBooks. And in my mind, I think of it, they're just things and they're replaceable, so I can, get a new one later, financially when I'm back on my feet. I'm working now, I'm back to work, but I'm starting slowly and then building back up. So I didn't take too many classes this particular semester with the colleges I teach with. I thought I'd be a little bit more careful so that I didn't have issues with my health. And I think that was a smart deal. Lots of bugs out here. Anyway, I actually decided to hang on to the Yoga 910. And again, like I say, the screen's beautiful. The thickness of this unit is awesome. It only weighs a couple pounds, so I can carry it easily in my bag. Um, I'm getting back into doing more physical activities, so it helps me to be able to carry this in my bag, and the fact that it's really light. The power supply is actually pretty small as well, so it's only about that big, and it's a Type-C connector. Now, one of the other things I really like about it is I do have a regular USB port, and I have a headphone jack, which the MacBooks still have. And I've actually got a couple of USB-Cs here. So I've got, this one is the power connector, this one is for anything pretty much. And this one you can actually use with data as well, but this port is the only one you can use for external displays. Many people have complained about the shift key. That tiny little shift key up here. I'm an avid typist. I'm really picky about my typing. So at first I thought, wow, that's really going to be a problem. But I realized that most of the time anyway, I actually use my left hand to do capital letters unless they're the close letters, A or S or something like that. In which case I trained my finger to go all the way to the edge of the shift key. And that doesn't actually affect me on other computers. I had a couple people comment, wow, you had to train yourself. What an inconvenience. Well, again, I'm very good at touch typing. So for me, it was a simple matter. Sometimes I still make a mistake, so there is a small reduction in speed when I hit a letter where I need to use that right shift key, but not really a big issue. So why did I sell the MacBooks? Well, I think most of you could guess right now. The MacBooks retain their value in the marketplace. So I actually got a good chunk of money for both my systems, and it allowed me to cover my bills for quite a few months. And that is something that I'm really happy about. So I sold 2 MacBook Pros, and it really did cover quite a few of my bills. So I don't have too many outstanding bills. I have a very small house. I've got an older car that is not on a payment plan. It's all paid off. So I actually don't need a whole bunch of cash to cover my bills. So things aren't too bad. What else? Well, I still have Macs around here. I've got the MacBook Pro 2008, which I actually have pulled out and I've been using quite a bit because I still really enjoy the Mac OS operating system. It really, for me, is one of the easiest OSs to use, and if you just want to get to work, it just works. I'm not a big fan of Windows still, so when I can, I use Linux. If you've been keeping an eye, if you guys read Slashdot, if you don't, you really should, slashdot.org. There have been several articles again about Microsoft and privacy issues. Now, it is somewhat concerning, but for me, I mean, really, I still use Windows because there's certain features and functionality I really like, mainly the hardware support. So when I do OBS and do screen recording, it uses hardware support, so it runs much better, and I can run virtual machines at the same time. Pretty much everything else I'm going to do in Linux anyway. But at any rate, I digress. I was talking about MacBooks. I've still got the MacBook Pro 2008. I have an iMac 2008, which works really well, and I have my wife's 2014 MacBook Air, and that's an i7 model, and it also has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, it only has the 128 gigabyte SSD, but that's not an issue. I have somewhere around here a 128 gigabyte USB drive that's a small one, so you can plug it in, just leave it there. I just transfer all the video that I edit or do anything on that particular system to that 128 gigabyte USB stick, and it makes life really easy for me. So, there's certain things in life that are important, and to me, computer equipment is just a thing. And I think what I'm going to do in the future, probably look to getting a 2017 model baseline MacBook Pro. So again, I'm all about the lightness and the thinness. This is critical for me at this stage, with my heart. for me to be able to carry something that's really light. What are the cons? Because I really like that 2015 with all the ports and the beautiful keyboard. One is I got a comment here. MacBook Pro 13 2015 is good choice to buy next year. I wouldn't buy it new. I would say if I was going to do that, I would buy it used. You know, you're probably only going to be able to buy it used shortly anyway. But the 2015 is a wonderful system. So yeah, I would consider it. If you're concerned about processing power, though, you probably want to get a 2017. Even if you get the base model, 2017 model, it's definitely going to be considerably faster. Okay, that's not quite correct. I'm not going to say considerably faster. I did do a comparison of the 2015 MacBook Pro 13-inch and the 13-inch 2017 model, and you are looking at about a 20% to 25% speed improvement. So if you need the speed for video editing or CAD or CAM or some software package that needs intensive processing, you're probably going to want a 2017. The keyboard is not an issue for me except for the noise it makes. Many times I'm up later and my wife's sleeping, so that's going to be an issue. But as far as typing on it, I went and tested it. No problem with the keyboard, although I would prefer the 2015 keyboard to be sure. Other issues for me, ports. But again, I bought a little hub for USB-C, so it's a non-issue for me, and I have USB-C converter cables that I already bought for the Yoga 910, so I could have expanded port availability on my system. So I don't see that as an issue, really. I think we're just starting to edge, into USB-C territory. Phones are coming with USB-C ports for charging and data connectivity. Computers are coming with USB-C ports, and that hub I have works, and I've got some cables that'll convert to USB, I believe it's A, the larger ports, so not really an issue for me. Right now, though, I've got an i7 Yoga 910. I got the 512 gigabyte SSD. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it's got the 4K screen, so I've got a really good system. I've got a desktop PC. I've got several Macs at home, and don't discount the older MacBooks. If you don't have a lot of money to spend, check out the MacBook Pro 2011, 2012, even the regular ones, the non-Retina versions. Those are good systems in my personal opinion. So, you don't have to spend a whole ton of money on a system. You could probably get a 2011 i5, which will still be supported for some time as far as the operating system goes, and not spend a whole ton of money. You probably could get one for $500 to $600, and it would be an excellent system. Again, it is not going to render video or do any processor-intensive tasks as well as a newer MacBook Pro, but those are the trade-offs. And if you're just getting your feet wet in, the whole ecosystem of Macs, that's what you can go with. You can go with a less expensive model. I actually bought that 2014 MacBook Air, and this was about 3 years ago. So when I got it, it was either 2015 or 2016, and I bought it for $600. Came with the box. It was in flawless condition. The person who I bought it from, there was not so much as one tiny scratch on it. It was an excellent system. So I was really glad to get that MacBook Air, and it works great. All right, I think I'm going to sign off. Hope you found this enjoyable. Just experimenting with live video. One of the cool things about it is I can turn out a video really fast for you. I don't have to go back and copy the video to my computer, edit it down, put it on my pre-roll, and so on and so forth. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, I'll see you next time on Fast Gadgets.